Hello, everyone. I'm going to talk about an article on the internet, which is kind of ridiculous because everything is on the internet right now, and everywhere you go and click, there is some nonsense being spewed. And the more official and the more scientific or whatever, the worse it is. So it's not that I go looking for these things, but life has blessed me with some smart friends and other people around me who have their wits about them, which is a bit rare. And so I consider myself very, very lucky. Anyway, one of the lovely people I know likes to go around and contribute to forums. And there was some discussion about an article from phys.org. Don't you love those names? They're always so I don't know. They're all always so credibility inducing because they seem so objectively oriented. And then you go in there, and of course, whoever is writing that on that website is also just a human being, which isn't very different than the people who are writing tabloids, right? It's the same thing. And I would even give the edge to the people who write on tabloids, because they are talking nonsense and they know they're talking nonsense, and so they don't have the credibility credit. They have to make it interesting. These people who write for main I don't like this name. These people who write for regular accepted media vehicles, they don't have to captivate the audience. They just have to put out content. And the more official it is, the worse the content gets, because they don't have to win anyone over. They don't have to persuade anyone. They can be as dry as a desert, and people have to read their crap. And so it only gets worse. So if you're looking for good entertainment, then please go to fiction and real entertainment. And if you like the news, then read some tabloid. At least that fiction is fun and generally more well written than this piece of crap you find on the rest of the media. Well, so I was sent this. I wasn't sent this article. I went into a forum to admire the work of a brilliant mind that likes to make people uncomfortable, which is just wonderful. Anyway, and by the way, the discomfort comes from people's own inability to understand that they are just sitting in a quagmire inside their minds, and there's nothing solid under there because they never stop to think how the hell all that information came to be in there, right? And so if someone goes in there to these science-oriented forums and asks a very well-crafted question, sometimes one line is enough, then everything falls apart and people get very upset, and it's just fun to watch anyway. So back to the article. I keep talking about everything else. It's you know why? It's because people people I know are very interesting and smart, and these people that work for media corporations or whatever, they can't compare. Anyway, focus. Let's go to the article, and you'll see what I mean. So it's on phys.org, and the title, very long-winded, is like this: do we live in a giant void that could solve the puzzle of the universe's expansion? Research suggests. You know, I won't be able to go through all this article because it will be too long of a rant. So I will just go until I'm sick of myself talking. But if you just take the title of this thing, do we live in a giant void? That one's easy, right? No, there is no void. You're not in a void. I mean, how ridiculous of a sentence is that? Where's the void? Why would anyone think that they live in a void? Think about it. It's a void. It's impossible for anything to be inside a void. It's a void, for crying out loud. Don't these people know what words mean? Anyway, let's skip because it's a question, right? So I can give a pass because it's a stupid question. But I understand it's the internet, clickbait, whatever. Okay, do we live in a giant void? No, it's a stupid question. Seriously, if this was a child, you'll send him to bed without dessert. Okay, now then they say this: that could solve the puzzle of the universe's expansion. First of all, it's not a puzzle. It's an idea. Someone had this idea that the universe, which they also don't explain what they mean by universe, is expanding for some reason. And if you press them enough, they will say that the reason is because there was a Big Bang some time ago, and all the matter, everything was just very dense, and it couldn't help itself. And so at some point there was the Big Bang, and from then on everything else started to exist. How is this not a creation story? In the beginning there was nothing, or better said, there was everything very dense in some point, which is also impossible, because a point only exists because you have at least 2 dimensions, right? Otherwise, there is no point. There is nothing. And whatever. And this thing that is then dense in this magical point then suffers some form of mental breakdown and explodes. I can't even say these words because they're so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. Can't you hear how ridiculous that sounds? Everything was condensed in one point, but there is nothing there yet, because there is nothing there, right? It's the void. And then this thing that doesn't exist because nothing exists really. Before everything exists, nothing exists, right? Then this thing explodes. How? This, I mean, this is phys.org. Some of these people have to be physicists, at least one. And they have to know that things don't explode by themselves, especially not when everything is in there together. Things don't just explode by themselves in nothingness, in the void. It's anyway. Well, so you have to then, to even begin to take this article seriously, which I can't see how, you have to believe in this particular scientific creation story. It's a creation story, right? So if someone goes out there and says that they are not creationists, then just ask, do you believe in the Big Bang? If you believe in the Big Bang, you are a creationist, because this is a creation story. There was nothing, then inside this void of nothingness, there was something, and this something was very dense, and it was so dense that it exploded, and from then on we had a universe, and it expands, and it's still expanding. And so now you're sitting inside the universe that is expanding, and this universe apparently is inside this void, this original void. Okay, whatever. And then I will read the title again, because now you can at least, I hope, see how ridiculous it is. So, and then we'll talk about the last part of this title, and then, I don't know, let's see what comes out. So, do we live in a giant void? That could solve the puzzle of the universe's expansion, research suggests. So now research suggests, right? This is the credibility bit, because if you take just the two first parts, do we live in a giant void? No, stupid question. That could solve the puzzle of the universe's expansion. There is no puzzle. There is no puzzle. No one is trying to put any of this together. It's just an idea. It's a creation story. So, do we live in a giant void? No. That could solve the puzzle of the universe's expansion. Also, no. Research suggests. So, if you are a sane, rational human being, and you can see how ridiculous those first parts of this title are, then you come to these two words, research suggests, and your mind just goes, because somehow research is a word that indicates that someone smarter than you, in quotation marks, is looking into it. They aren't really. And if they were smart, they wouldn't be wasting their lives with stupid imaginary voids, right? But they aren't. They are just probably not even physicists. They are more likely to be, I don't know, some teenager in his mom's basement typing away. Anyway, and then research suggests, so it suggests, it's not even, nothing has been proven, and it will never be proven because it's a creation story. Seriously, go back to myths. Myths are nicer, you know, Thor and his chariot with 2 goats in the sky, much nicer than stupid voids and exploding somethings that are sitting inside nothings, whatever. Now, I will just go along this nonsense and read. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. It's just so ridiculous. So the first paragraph, if you were lured into this ridiculous article, and then you go to the first paragraph, it's all there. It's all there. So one of the biggest mysteries in cosmology is the rate at which the universe is expanding. So this is just the first sentence, right? One of the biggest mysteries. So in your face, they're telling you that this is a mystery. Really, people, you have to, nowadays, it's not enough to understand words generically. You really have to do the work, because you're living inside a universe now, real one, not this imaginary cosmic void. You're living in a world where words are being bandied about every which way, and their meaning is being diluted or distorted every single day, by the minute. So you have to go back and understand that they are telling you to your face that is a mystery. So you could, at this point, if you weren't already put off, if you weren't already put off by the title of this thing, then at least you could read one sentence, the beginning of one sentence, of the first sentence, and know that you don't have to read anything further, because they are telling to your face that they are now going to talk about a mystery, meaning they don't know. They don't know what they're talking about. It's a mystery, right? If it were something that they knew, then there would be no mystery. So, and then they say cosmology, which is exactly what I was talking about. It's a theory about the cosmos. And then they say that the mystery is the rate at which the universe is expanding. This is the jump. This is the jump that gets people, because they didn't stop to think that they are being presented a fiction, just a fiction, a piece of fiction. It starts with creation story and mystery. And then there is this rate at which the universe is expanding, put in there like it was obvious, like it was common knowledge. like it was the truth. You should know. You should know you're sitting in a universe that is expanding. It's a given. How would you think any different? But here's the thing. Why would you believe this? First of all, they didn't say what they mean by universe. And this is important right now, because there are other websites who are talking about multiverses and about string theory and about how everything you see is just an illusion, which, by the way, is mystical talk. It's religion. It's all religion. Don't tell me that only because you're talking about Big Bang that this is not a religion. It is a religion. Because it's just made up hypothesis. I don't care if you call the thing church or university. There are people in there making up stories and talking about them as if they were revelations or something. So, one of the biggest mysteries in cosmology is the rate at which the universe is expanding. This is Bible talk. Because for you to be able to follow this line of thought, you have to be a believer. You have to have bought into the whole story, the whole Big Bang cosmology creation story. If you're not bought, if you haven't bought into that, then you, first of all, you won't be traipsing around phys.org, but you wouldn't be drawn in to this piece of fiction if you weren't a believer. So yeah, I mean, I can go on, but what's the point? The next sentence is, this can be predicted using the standard model of cosmology. So again, they're admitting it to your face that now they're getting into prophecy territory. They're trying to predict things about the cosmos, about the universe. Oh man. Okay. I won't go on about this nonsense. It's too ridiculous. It's too ridiculous. I just wanted to talk about this particular thing because it was something I I was made aware of this article, and every time I click on anything that tries to be very serious about space or whatever, I just get, you know, I can't understand how intelligent people can't see the trick that is being played on them. Because it's told to their face. They are confused by science. In a way, they wouldn't be confused about mythology or religion, which is all the same thing. I'm still looking at the screen and my eyes went to this gem of a sentence. The universe expansion makes galaxies move away from each other. The further away they are from us, the more quickly they move. Yes, they're running away. The galaxies are running away from this nonsense. That is the only thing that would make sense. It's just nothing is being explained here. Nothing. You are supposed to know. You are supposed to know that the universe is expanding. So that's axiomatic. You should know. You should know what they mean by universe, although there are 1,000 theories out there. You are supposed to believe that galaxies are something that they also don't explain what they mean by that. It's obvious. It's known. Everyone knows what a galaxy is, right? And you're supposed to know that they are moving. Of course they're moving. And they're moving in the void, which is also... oh my God. They're moving in the void. Okay. And they are moving away from us. There is no us. No galaxy is moving away from me in any void. So, and if they are, the further away they are from us, apparently, the quickly they move. So, okay. So acceleration happening in the void. Also very interesting. Why would they move more quickly? This is, can you see how geocentric that is? Can you see that? So the galaxies move, right, in space, in the void. They just go around, they are moving around, okay? But if they are far away from us, meaning humans, right? I suppose they're meaning humans. I can't know what they mean by us, but I will assume, I will make an assumption that they mean us here on Earth. So the galaxies that are farther away from us, humans, who are apparently very bought into this cosmology, they are moving faster away. So this is geocentrism. This is anthropocentrism. Because the galaxies are we are so important to the galaxies that when they are far from us, then they behave differently. They accelerate in the void to get away from us. And I wouldn't blame them. I wouldn't blame the galaxies for that. Anyway, this is just nonsense over nonsense. Nonsense over nonsense. I'm just I'm just scrolling down, and everything I read, every sentence I read is more ridiculous than the sentence that came before. I wonder how it ends. I wonder what the conclusion of this thing is. Oh, of course. Einstein is thought to have said, yeah, of course, bring in your big brother to corroborate the nonsense you're saying. So whoever the poor soul was who wrote this article, and I really don't like to speak ill of people. I'm sure he's a very nice guy and doing his best with with whatever belief he's bought into. But he then brings his patron saint of science in, because of course he has no leg to stand on, and so if you're talking nonsense and you even if you think this is true, somewhere your soul knows that you're just making shit up. Sorry. And so you have to bring in something to close your attempt at you have to bring your something you have to do something to bring this to an end, and still don't feel too bad about yourself, and so you just bring in any one of the saints of this religion, and Einstein is a big one, right? So then you just shove every guilt or blame onto that name, and then you're home free. Anyway, so yeah, blah blah blah, cosmology, Big Bang, void, accelerating galaxies, geocentrism, and then Einstein. So this is more or less what's going on here, with a bit of hyperlinks and NASA imagery. Also always very nice to see what the guys are up to there. And then, oh yeah, it goes over tweaking the laws of gravity. I won't comment on that. This is just too ridiculous. Okay, I should do a better recording of this, but I won't bother. This was just me rambling a bit about space nonsense. Okay. No one will enjoy this, I'm sure. And so I'm not too worried that I made a horrible recording. Anyway, if anyone has listened to this up to this point, know that I'm very grateful for your time, and I hope at least that it made you feel less alone in the actual void you're inhabiting and I'm inhabiting. So maybe you're a kindred soul, a bit irritated by the actual void. So see you next time. Thank you.